Kevin Bishop reprises his role as Fletch's grandson in a rebooted series of the classic sitcom The BBC took a risk last year when it remade classic sitcoms Are You Being Served, Porridge, Steptoe, and Son and Hancock's Half Hour for its landmark sitcom season. Watching today's actors play roles brought to life by some of our biggest comedy stars was always going to be divisive, even if the season was intended as a celebration. Of those reboots, Porridge, written by its original creators, seemed to have legs. Starring Kevin Bishop as Nigel Norman Fletcher, the grandson of original inmate Norman Stanley Fletcher, played by Ronnie Barker, Porridge received warm reviews of nearly 4.5 million viewers. As a result, the BBC asked writers Dick Clement and Ian LaFrenice to sentence Nigel to another stint behind bars for a six-part series, which starts this week. Comedian Kevin Bishop, best known to TV viewers from The Kevin Bishop Show and last year's one-off spoof Nigel Farage Gets His Life Back, reprises his role as the wisecracking inmate who's languishing at Her Majesty's pleasure for cyber fraud. Catastrophe's Mark Bonner returns as Officer Mickey, and Dave Hill plays his cellmate Joe Lotterby. The rebooted Porridge reverses the original dynamic of an older Fletch bunking with a younger cellmate in Godber, played by Richard B. Kinsale. Having a younger Fletch with the older Lotterby provides a similar age gap and also a connection to the original series. In the pilot, Lotterby told Fletch he'd been in prison with his grandfather. In this week's first episode, we see Fletch acting as a modern-day Cyrano de Bergerac, helping his mates write convincing love letters to their wives and girlfriends, which eventually gets him into a pickle. Kevin Bishop admits he had his doubts that the rebooted Porridge could succeed. "It's my favorite sitcom of all time, and when they said we're going to remake it, I thought that might not be a good idea, because it's the closest thing to a perfect sitcom that I know," says Kevin, 37. "That's why I was slightly reticent to jump on board at first. But we pulled it off, I think. Although this Fletch delivers his snappy comebacks in much the same quickfire fashion as Ronnie Barker's Fletch, Kevin, who's an expert impressionist, was eager to avoid a direct takeoff of Ronnie Barker. It was tempting, but I think it would have been a mistake if I'd have done a straight impersonation," says Daftwell Kevin. "The wonderful thing about that character, which was a gift from Ronnie Barker, is that he must have known that person that he played, because it's such a well-aired character." Sat. July 1, 2017. Top of the Lake BBC 2, late July early August. 4 long years after the first series aired, this eerie cop drama from Australian director Jane Campion returns, and I've noticed in my children that they've got certain mannerisms their grandparents have, like it's in their DNA, and that's what I wanted it to feel like, familiar, but not an impersonation. Kevin isn't the only Porridge actor directly replacing an original. Mark Bonner's Officer Mickey is very much in the same mold as Fulton Mackay's crew, Mr. Mackay, the tough Scottish prison warder whose constant obsession was to catch Fletch breaking the rules. Although Ronnie Barker is gone, his spirit hovers over this reborn Porridge. "The only thing I wanted to achieve with this Porridge was that Dick and Ian would like it," says Kevin, "and that if Ronnie Barker watched it, he would think it was done well." Porridge, Friday, 9:30 p.m., BBC One.